I didn't want to just write about our gender problem. I wanted to do something about our gender problem. I wrote this audiobook because I believe other people feel the same way. I am grateful to everyone who has helped diagnose this problem and bring the issue into the mainstream. I want to move the discussion forward by focusing on practical solutions. This audiobook is filled with ideas, stories, interviews, and suggestions about what you can do to address household gender inequality with your partner, your kids, your grandkids, your friends, and your community. My hope is that every listener can find a handful of actionable ideas that feel doable, ideas that might make you think, that makes sense, I can give that a try. I believe that if we all make a few small changes here and there, relationship by relationship, we can move the needle on household inequality. Skeptical? Sure, I'm a skeptic too. A little skepticism is healthy. But the information in this audiobook is evidence-based. I have worked in gender equality and social change for more than 20 years, and this audiobook's methodology comes from decades of best practices. To better explain what social change looks like, let me tell you a story from my work in Indonesia. Several years ago, I partnered with a local women's empowerment organization in East Java to see if we could engage in the husbands of the female members to boost family support for the program. As part of this process, I found myself facilitating a meeting of 20 men, all of whom were married to a member of the local women's empowerment group. The meeting took place in the town hall of a small village. We arranged plastic chairs in a circle and took our places. All the men wore their best clothes, freshly ironed khaki pants and batik shirts in a range of bright colors. It was hot and humid. Everyone used scraps of cardboard to fan away the sweat and the flies. I could sense that the men had come reluctantly. Although they were all respectful and kind to me, none of them appeared particularly interested in women's issues. There was a lot of smoking and side conversations, but to be honest, I was grateful that anyone even bothered to show up. I was desperate to get the conversation started. I needed genuine participation or else the day would be a failure. So, after introductions, I asked everyone, please give me an example of how your family has benefited from your wife's involvement with the empowerment group. There was awkward silence at first. Most men looked down at their feet. Many lit another cigarette. It was painful to sit in silence, but I waited, keeping a hopeful smile on my face. Finally, thankfully, after what felt like ages, someone spoke up. The man appeared unenthusiastic, but slowly he began to tell his story about how, before the empowerment group, annual school fees were a problem for his family. He was a farmer who did not own his own land. After paying his monthly expenses, there wasn't much left over. He never managed to save all the money needed for annual school fees. So, each year, the family had to take out a small loan to pay for school. Education was important. Neither he nor his wife attended school past 6th grade, and he promised himself that both his boys would graduate from high school. But the interest rate was high and took months to repay. Money he could have saved during harvest was used to repay last year's interest, so he never managed to save for the following year. This cycle of debt had continued for nearly a decade. He explained that he had always been frustrated that the school fees ended up costing 2 or 3 times as much this way, but he never found another solution. He just couldn't get ahead of those school fee payments. He paused and seemed to gain a bit of confidence. He sat up straighter and made eye contact with me for the first time. When he continued, he explained that in her empowerment group, his wife and some friends thought up the idea of starting a small business selling homemade snacks. The women would gather in someone's home a few days a week to slice, fry, and package sweet potatoes. They would portion them out in small bags and sell the snacks to local kiosk owners. They tasted good and sold quickly. The money was not much at first, but it started adding up. The first week she saved 1,000 rupiah, about 70 cents US. Then it was 2,000 rupiah. Then 10,000. After several months, it had become clear that the family